we will be in backside if you need any assistance.
Thank you very much indeed to all colleagues for attending this VIP corner between Commissioner for Home Affairs Cecilia Malmström and Kosovo Minister for European Integration Vlora Citaku at the occasion of the handover to Kosovo government of the roadmap to visa liberalization. There will be some statements from both Commissioner and Minister, and then we will be happy to take some questions if you have any. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you, Michele. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy to be here today with Minister Citaku, the Minister of European Integration from Kosovo, and she has a big delegation with her, Minister of Interior, the chairman of the Committee of the Assembly of European Integration, and a lot of mayors and members of the Assembly as well. It is a great day for us today to be able to hand over the roadmap on visa liberalization to our friends from Kosovo. I promised that when I was in Pristina in January, and now it is here, so that the roadmap has been given over. It's a ceremonial step, but it's a very important concrete step because it gives the roadmap on how Kosovo should proceed in order to move towards visa travel, and it's an important step for further European integration as well. We have had a successful visa liberalization process with the Western Balkans, and it shows that the Commission is ready to deliver when our partners are ready to deliver. And this is a very important step in promoting European cooperation between the European Union and the Balkan countries. The launch of the visa dialogue took a little bit longer with Kosovo, but I hope it will move very steadily from now, so that we will be able to see Kosovo people traveling freely to the European Union without visas. And today, handover is also an acknowledgement of the hard work that's been done on all levels in Kosovo, by the government, by the different institutions, and also all around the country in the different municipalities. And that's why it is very important that you have brought some of the mayors to show the whole country's ownership of these processes. But there's still quite some work to be done. The speed of this process will, of course, depend on Kosovo's authorities and their work. The roadmap is a very comprehensive list. Reforms that need to be made, reintegration and readmission, document security, border and migration management, fight against organized crime, corruption and fundamental rights. And we know that these issues are important for the Kosovo government, regardless of this work, of course, to strengthen your young democracy and to the benefit of your citizens. The pace of the visa dialogue will depend on Kosovo, and the fulfillment of the different requirements. So whether and how soon the visa-free travel becomes a reality is in the hands of the government, and how soon they will implement the reforms on the ground. But I am convinced that the Kosovo authorities will show the same determination and goodwill that they have done so far, and the Commission is, of course, your partner in this and willing to work with you the whole way. So today, a lot of people have worked for this day to become a reality. I want to thank everybody involved. It's an important step. This afternoon, there will be a first senior official meeting to discuss the concrete steps to be taken from today and to cover all the reforms outlined in the visa roadmap. So it's a very happy day for me, and I'm really happy, Flora, that you're here today with your delegation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Cecilia. I'm extremely pleased to be here today. I'd like to start by saying that delivery of the roadmap for visa liberalization with Kosovo is a milestone on Kosovo's European integration path. In fact, it is a shining example of that perspective being put into practice. It is a kept promise. While such a roadmap may have been taken for granted, in reality, we had to work hard to get to this point. But of course, we have not done it all alone. Great Europeans and friends of Kosovo, like Commissioner Malmström, have given valuable support towards getting the roadmap agreed, ready, and today handed over. And for that, we are thankful. I would like to acknowledge the immense efforts that all of our institutions have made, both at the central and local level, in the last couple of years towards meeting challenges and performing to a standard that has enabled us to present the roadmap today. I would like to highlight the role of the Ministry of Internal Affairs under the guidance of Minister Recepi, line ministries, the Parliament, state institutions, and in particular, I would like to highlight the role of the opposition. The roadmap today is a victory for the internal consensus in Kosovo. I would like also to emphasize the important role that the local bodies have played in the process, and this is why we have here today representatives of the local level, mayors from the municipality of Peja, Istok, Gračanica, and Gjilan. Commissioner, bear with me as I have said this before, but for Kosovo citizens, the ability to cross borders has a humanitarian core. Coming closer to opening borders between Kosovo and the EU will mean removing obstacles between families. As many of my compatriots have family members already living in Europe, but have very little opportunities to come and to visit them. The importance of people-to-people contact between Kosovo and the citizens of the European Union is immense. At this stage, Kosovo is focused on its development and on gaining its place in the European Union through it. It is hard to imagine how Kosovo can move ahead and develop itself without its students, scientists, artists, sportsmen, business people, and the rest being given the opportunity to exchange freely without difficulties with their colleagues in Europe. Dear Commissioner, thank you very much for everything you have done. Of course, we have, in a way, seen the content of the roadmap. It has 95 specific criteria that we will have to fulfill. I commit all government institutions, all other institutions in Kosovo will work hard in order to make possible for our citizens, as soon as possible, to move without visa in the European Union. I'm not going to give any date, but I will promise that we will work hard to provide arguments for you and for others, friends of Kosovo and enlargement, to convince the rest that the job has been done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. We're ready to take your questions first and then.
Hello, my name is Artan Harachi, a journalist from daily newspaper Zëri from Pristina. Madam Commissioner, what are you going, as EU Commission, look at first? The fight against corruption and organized crime, because it has been put a lot of emphasis whenever it's dialogue, let's say it like this, with Kosovo, or readmission and the illegal migration. I know that with other 5 Western Balkan countries, that's actually has been the biggest challenge for you and these Western Balkan countries. But for Kosovo, it seems like also fight against corruption and organized crime seems to be also a big challenge. So what are you going to look first at it? And if I'm allowed, just a brief second question. Many people in Kosovo fear that there is actually they're worried that EU Commission and EU as a whole fears from what will happen to Europe if visa liberalization will be granted to Kosovo. Based on the content from the roadmap that has been leaked to the media, they consider that the language used in this dialogue with Kosovo is pretty harsh, harsher than with other Western Balkans countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There was a lot of questions. First of all, I mean, the roadmap are a list of criteria. They are quite transparent and open and clear, and they are based on the experience that we have with the other visa liberalization processes in the neighborhood. So they are no different. But of course, every country is different. So every country, some countries are more advanced in some areas and less in others. And this is exactly what we're going to discuss this afternoon in the high-level conference of civil servants to define the speed, the priorities, the task, together with the Kosovo government. There's no list of priorities. I mean, everything has to be fulfilled, but the exact speed and when are some amendments or some legislation planned, that is something we will look at together. As I said, this is something that has been taking a little more time than for the rest of the countries in the neighborhood, but we are here. We promise to deliver. We do that today. I have behind me 27 member states unanimously saying yes to handing over the roadmap today. So that also shows that this is something that Europe is committed to enhance people-to-people contact between the European Union and the Western Balkans. We have good experiences and some bad experiences that we bear with us in the process, but we will of course address them in an open and frank and transparent way as we always did. So there is no conspiracy, there is no back thoughts about this. This is a true wish for us to work with the Kosovo government to achieve visa liberalization with them, as is now the case for all the countries in the region.
Lisa Zugay, ABC News and Clan TV. Question for Commissioner. Commissioner, the roadmap for Kosovo is stricter than for the other countries of the region. They have to pay even for the faults of the others. So can you assure that during the fulfillment of the roadmap will be no additional condition, and then that the situation in the north will not have any impact in the visa liberalization process? And to the Minister, do you feel that the work is harder for you than for the others? Thanks.
Well, I'll give you some time to rest, and I'll answer first. Thank you very much. Well, we have come to realize that the enlargement process in general and visa liberalization process in particular is based on lessons learned. For Croatia was more difficult than for Bulgaria and Romania. For Serbia will be more difficult than for Croatia, and certainly for us is going to be more challenging. But we don't believe and we don't think that this is an anti-Kosovo position. Quite the opposite. We had a discussion with the Commissioner about this. Of course, the list of criteria for Kosovo is longer, but this is because European Commission has learned from the previous experiences, and this will actually make Kosovo more fit to compete and more able to meet the challenges when visa regime is lifted. So I believe that this is an advantage. Our advantage is actually that we have unilaterally adopted the roadmap 3 years ago. And since 3 years, we have been working unilaterally to fulfill visa liberalization requirements, and some of the conditions that are set in the roadmap have already been met. But we don't believe that this is an anti-Kosovo spirit, not at all. It is just lessons learned, and Commission is also learning from its previous experiences.
Well, I can only reiterate this, that we have learned from some experience, and that's why we are even more specific. There seems to be a longer list, but they are sort of giving more details on specific themes where maybe in the past we saw that we could have been even clearer and more specific. So we have addressed this in full transparency, discussing, of course, with the government for months, so that I don't think you will find any surprises in there, and there is not a new roadmap coming up. It's the same process as with the countries in the region. It is a Commission-led process. We will, of course, ask the Kosovo government to report regularly on the progress, so we can report on the progress as well to the ministers. But this is the roadmap. We will monitor it. We will work with the Kosovo government and support the speed and the sort of amount and the efforts is for Kosovo to show, but we work with them, and we will not come with additional documents after this. This is a guarantee. The Commission is to be trusted in this.
And the situation in the north will have no impact?
Well, the situation in the north is as you know, difficult and sensitive, but it is not per se a condition for the roadmap.
We have 2 more questions.
From Kosovo Television, how can you insist that the roadmap is almost identical with the countries in the neighborhood when even in preparation of the text and in the future procedures you are involving Council of Ministers, which was not the case before? You are formally, officially putting it on paper, the involvement of Council of Ministers. And the criteria put on the Kosovo's roadmap are like 2.5 times more comparing to the average of the Western Balkan states, what they had in 2008. And to Madam Chitaku, when you saw today the document, do you still insist that you will fulfill everything in record time, like you said already?
Well, as I said, there are more criteria in numbers, but they are related to the same issues as for the other countries. They all concern the border controls, document security, corruption, fundamental rights related to traveling, etc., etc. I mean, they're the same building blocks that for everybody, but they are more specific because we have learned lessons. And we have also chosen, and this was very important for the Commission, it is the same process. It is a Commission-led process. It is a roadmap. But of course, member states have always been involved in this. We cannot agree once this road is travelled. It is the member states to agree finally to lift the visa requirement. The particularity with this is that we involve the member states on a more regular basis, and I think that would facilitate so that we can immediately highlight progress and also where difficulties are, so we can mobilize the different tools that we have to support even further the Kosovo government when we have identified this. So it is, we have learned some lessons from the past, and that is reflected in the roadmap, but there are basically the same criteria, the same themes, but they are just a little bit more specific, and I think that will actually help the Kosovo government in their endeavors to achieve it.
Thank you very much. Well, I still insist that we will be able to fulfill all the criteria on a record time, because there were no surprises. I checked the document, and the Commission is not asking for the Coca-Cola formula to be discovered from us. I mean, it's 4 blocks of criteria: document security, integrated border management and migration, public safety and order, and fundamental rights and freedom of movement. So we were not surprised when we saw the roadmap today. Yes, it is more specific. Probably we have more requirements than the rest of the countries in the Western Balkans, but what's important is the methodology. The methodology is identical to the Western Balkans process, and this was the main concern we had.
One last question.
Thank you. Commissioner, I'm sorry to insist on that, but how real do you expect to be visa-free travel for Kosovars to EU when it is quite not possible to do it inside the region itself? And in the other side, there are the doubles of criteria that it was for other countries. In the meantime, Kosovo is the only country who is, let's say, in the middle of them. And if they fulfill the criteria, how it comes that Kosovo has double of criteria when its borders are already secured and another point, how real it's the risk of reintroduction of borders, of Schengen borders, in the meantime that you are starting the dialogue with Kosovo. Thank you.
Well, when we have embarked on the similar trip with other countries, we have said when you achieve the criteria, we will get rid of visa, and we have done so. So I think the experience shows that when a country delivers, we deliver. And there is no reason why we wouldn't do it in this case. As I said, and as the Minister said, yes, there are more criteria in numbers, but they regard the same problems, but they are more specific because we have learned lessons from other countries in the region in order to help the Kosovo government. And I've tried to explain this many times now, so that it's very clear what they need to do. And I think that having it on paper and working on all that will actually save time a little bit because it's very, very clear. And we will deliver when Kosovo delivers. And because it is a clear aim by the member states. Of course, there are discussions going on right now, and you refer to Schengen, yes. But there is a still commitment, and the proof is here today that we launched the dialogue and hand over the roadmap, that there is a willingness to further deepen people-to-people contact between the European Union and the people of the Western Balkan. And the remaining people now are the Kosovo people, and that's what we are starting to remedy today. So it is the same process with the same ambition, and we will deliver when Kosovo delivers.
Thank you very much indeed for attending this VIP corner.